Ladies and gentlemen, let us make something clear right from the beginning. There are certain women who move through life on another level. They don't bow under pressure. They don't collapse when attacked, and they don't compromise their true self. These women are spiritually unshakable. When life throws its hardest blows, they rise higher. When storms come their way, they remain steady. And when darkness tries to surround them, they shine even brighter. Understand this. Being spiritually unshakable doesn't mean you won't face pain or problems. It means you refuse to let those problems define you, defeat you, or take you away from who God made you to be. It means you live with a strength that cannot be explained by ordinary standards. It means you carry a presence so powerful that it unsettles the enemy because you know exactly who you are. So let us look at the signs that show when a woman is spiritually unshakable. She knows her identity. A spiritually strong woman is firm in who she is. She doesn't let rumors, opinions, or society place a price on her. She doesn't run after approval because she already knows she is chosen, precious, and set apart. Her confidence is steady because it doesn't come from likes, applause, or compliments. It comes from a place much deeper than the world can ever touch. She guards her mind carefully. Her thoughts are like her fortress. She refuses to let negative words or ideas take root in her. She feeds her mind with wisdom, truth, and faith. She understands clearly that whatever fills the mind will eventually shape the way she lives. So, she is deliberate about protecting her mental space. When fear tries to enter, she pushes it out with courage. When doubt knocks at her door, she answers with faith. She also walks in forgiveness. This is one of her greatest powers. She refuses to hold grudges or bitterness because she knows they are like heavy stones meant to slow her down. She forgives not because others deserve it, but because she refuses to let anger poison her spirit. Her ability to forgive makes her unstoppable because no one can trap her in the past. Another sign is her gift of discernment. A spiritually strong woman can sense when something is not right. She sees beyond appearances and trusts the voice inside her heart. She can spot false friends, harmful situations, and toxic places before they have the chance to hurt her. This wisdom allows her to walk with peace and avoid unnecessary fights. She refuses to settle for less. She knows her values, so she doesn't accept things that do not match her purpose. Whether it is in relationships, work opportunities, or personal standards, she never trades her integrity for short-term pleasure. Her patience becomes her shield. She would rather wait for what is right than rush into what is wrong. Another sign is that she speaks life. Her words carry weight. She does not waste her breath on gossip or constant complaining. Instead, she speaks faith, encouragement, and hope over herself and others. Her voice becomes a source of healing and strength, and she chooses her words carefully. She stays steady in hard times. Anyone can smile when life is smooth, but a spiritually unshakable woman keeps her faith, even when life is difficult. She doesn't give up when things don't go her way. She doesn't hide from challenges. Instead, she pushes forward with boldness, knowing that every test is shaping her into someone even stronger. And finally, she lives with clear purpose. Her life has direction. She wakes each morning knowing she has a reason to get up. She doesn't wander without aim. She walks with intention. Because of this, distractions lose their power over her. She doesn't waste time on drama or pettiness because she is too focused on becoming who she was meant to be. Ladies, let me tell you something important. This type of woman is a force you cannot easily move. You can't shake her. You can't break her. And you cannot stop her. And the good news is this woman can be you. So today, I encourage you to rise higher. Stand tall even when fear shows its face. Protect your peace, your purpose, and your strength. You already have what it takes to be spiritually unshakable. Now it's time to live like it. She knows her worth because she has taken the time to understand who she truly is. Not just on the outside, but deep within her soul. Her value does not come from looks, achievements, or from what people say about her. It comes from a deep awareness that she was created with care and purpose. This understanding becomes the ground upon which she builds her entire life. When others try to label her, she does not shrink or bend to fit their description. She has learned to silence the noise of opinions and focus on the truth of her identity. This makes her steady because she is not moved by every trend, every criticism, or even every compliment. She stands firm knowing that her worth cannot be given or taken away by people. A woman who knows her worth no longer begs for the bare minimum because she understands she was never created to survive on crumbs. When she was designed to sit at the table of abundance, she does not chase things or people that do not value her because she knows that anything she has to beg for is not meant for her. She has faced moments of rejection, heartbreak, and disappointment. But instead of letting those moments destroy her, she lets them shape her. Every wound became a lesson. Every loss became a teacher. And every setback became a reminder that she deserves better than what once hurt her. This understanding gives her strength to say no to what doesn't match her value and courage to wait for what does. She walks with quiet confidence, not the loud kind that seeks attention, but the calm kind that is noticed before she speaks. People sense her presence because she carries herself as someone who knows she belongs. She doesn't need to compete, compare, or prove herself. She has stepped out of the tiring cycle of trying to earn love, respect, or acceptance. Instead, she attracts them naturally because her spirit shines with self-respect. Her energy speaks before her words ever do. That is why people admire her, feel drawn to her, or sometimes even fear her, because she is not living for their approval. Knowing her worth also allows her to dream without limits. She is not afraid to reach high because she knows she is worthy of good things. She is not afraid to leave behind toxic places or people because she believes she is worthy of peace. She is not afraid to stand on her own because she knows alignment is more valuable than attachment. This kind of self-awareness acts like a shield that guards her against manipulation and disrespect. No one can convince her to accept less than she deserves because she already decided what she is worthy of receiving. She knows her value does not drop just because someone else fails to see it. She does not let rejection lower her sense of worth. She does not let failure tell her she is incapable. She does not let betrayal make her bitter or doubt her importance. Instead, she views all of these as redirections towards something better. Her worth is not temporary. It is steady, constant, and rooted deep within who she is at the core. She guards her peace like it is her most precious possession, because she knows that without peace, everything else eventually falls apart. She understands very clearly that her mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being are the foundation on which she builds her life. And that foundation must stay strong and steady no matter what storms are happening around her. She is deliberate about what she allows into her space, the kind of conversations she engages in, the people she gives her time to, and the energy she allows herself to be surrounded by. She is not afraid to set firm boundaries, even when those boundaries make others uncomfortable, because she knows protecting her peace is never selfish. It is necessary, it is survival, it is the only way she can truly thrive. She has learned through experience that not everyone deserves access to her heart, her thoughts, or her time. And she is unapologetic about protecting those parts of herself. Her peace is her true power, and she values it like a sacred treasure. She does not allow unnecessary drama, empty gossip, or negativity to take root in her life. When conflict rises, she does not add fuel to the fire, but instead looks for calm resolution. Or if that is not possible, she walks away completely. She knows that engaging in pointless battles will only waste her energy and distract her from her higher calling. Instead of letting anger or bitterness stay inside of her, she chooses to process her emotions in a healthy way, to release what no longer serves her, and to focus only on what will move her forward. This discipline makes her unshakable because her emotions are no longer at the mercy of the noise and chaos around her. She also protects her peace by being mindful of what she feeds her mind and soul. She refuses to dwell on constant negativity or allow fear-driven thoughts to control her choices. She carefully chooses what she reads, what she listens to, and what she watches, because she knows very well that what she consumes will eventually shape how she feels and how she sees the world. She fills her mind with wisdom, with positivity, and with truth that strengthens her inner world. This inner strength becomes her anchor when life gets heavy. No matter how loud the world becomes, she stays centered and calm because she has trained herself to focus on what she can control and to release what she cannot. Part of protecting her peace is learning to say no without carrying guilt. She no longer feels the need to be everywhere, to do everything, or to please everyone around her. She has realized that saying yes to every demand is the fastest road to exhaustion, burnout, and resentment. Now she says yes only to what nourishes her soul and no to what drains her spirit. She values her time and energy so deeply that she spends them with wisdom, knowing these are resources she can never get back once wasted. This awareness allows her to live a more balanced and intentional life, where peace is her natural state of being rather than a rare moment she has to chase after. She even protects her peace in the way she speaks to herself. Her inner voice is not filled with constant criticism or endless self-doubt. She chooses to speak to herself with kindness, compassion, and encouragement, reminding herself every day that she is capable, she is worthy, and she is strong enough to handle whatever comes her way. By choosing thoughts that uplift rather than destroy, she creates an atmosphere of calm inside her own mind. This mental clarity helps her make wiser decisions and keeps her focused on what truly matters most. She also walks in forgiveness because she understands that holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting someone else to suffer. She has learned from painful experiences that bitterness is a heavy chain, one that steals joy, clouds vision, and keeps her trapped in moments that are already gone. She refuses to live her life carrying grudges because she knows they only slow her down and block the flow of peace she needs to move forward. Forgiveness for her is not about excusing what was done or pretending that the pain never existed. It is about freeing herself from the control of that pain, cutting the chain that ties her to that memory, and choosing to be free. She has faced betrayal, heartbreak, and deep disappointments that could have hardened her heart forever. But she made a different choice. She chose to let those moments teach her instead of break her. She forgives not because the other person always deserves forgiveness, but because she deserves peace. She knows carrying resentment keeps her attached to the very thing that hurt her, and she refuses to give anyone that kind of power over her soul. Forgiveness becomes her shield, protecting her from the poison of bitterness and the temptation to seek revenge. It allows her to heal and to continue walking in love even after being wronged. Forgiveness also allows her to reclaim her own power. When someone wounds her, she feels the pain deeply, but she does not remain there forever. She processes her emotions, she grieves if she must, but then she chooses to let go. In doing this, she refuses to let the actions of others control her future. She will not let one painful moment rewrite the story of her entire life. By forgiving, she takes back control of her emotions and her destiny. This strength is what makes her spiritually untouchable, because nothing anyone does can keep her bound for long. She does not confuse forgiveness with reconciliation. She understands that forgiving someone does not always mean allowing them back into her life. She can release the offense without reopening the door for the person who caused it. She can bless them silently and move on, never turning back. This wisdom allows her to protect her heart while still keeping her spirit clean. It is a delicate balance that many people never master, but she has learned that this is the true path to freedom. Even in moments when she has been deeply wounded, she uses forgiveness as a tool to grow stronger instead of weaker. She looks at her pain as a lesson, asking herself what it taught her about boundaries, about trust, and about resilience. She chooses to take the lesson, but leave the bitterness behind. This transforms her pain into power and her wounds into wisdom. Every time she forgives, she rises higher because forgiveness lifts weight off her spirit and allows her to move forward with clarity and freedom. She also practices forgiveness toward herself. She does not punish herself forever for old mistakes, poor decisions, or missed opportunities. She gives herself permission to start again, to do better, and to grow from every misstep. This self-forgiveness is one of the most powerful forms of healing because it silences the voice of guilt and shame that tries to whisper she is unworthy of love or happiness. When she forgives herself, she steps into her true power because she is no longer dragging the past like a heavy burden behind her. She trusts her inner wisdom because she knows her intuition is one of her greatest gifts. She pays attention to that quiet inner voice that warns her when something feels wrong, even when everything on the outside looks fine. She has lived enough to know that ignoring her inner guidance only leads to more pain. So she has made it her practice to listen carefully. This trust in herself gives her the ability to move through life with clarity and confidence. When faced with choices, she doesn't depend only on what others say or what the world pushes her into. She pauses, she reflects, and she lets her inner wisdom lead her steps. Her discernment is sharp because she has trained it through real experiences. She has been in situations where she ignored her instincts and paid a painful price. And those moments became her teachers. Now she honors those inner signals. If something feels wrong, she steps back and reassesses. If something feels aligned, she moves forward boldly and without hesitation. This ability to sense what others often overlook is what keeps her protected from harm and from needless chaos. It saves her from toxic relationships, dishonest people, and opportunities that look like blessings but are actually traps. She does not allow fear, pressure, or outside voices to silence her inner truth. Even when everyone around her urges her to follow a certain path, if her heart tells her it isn't right, she finds the courage to stand alone. This is what makes her unique. She doesn't compromise her peace just to fit in or please others. She would rather let people down than betray herself. This inner harmony makes her strong because she knows she is living her truth instead of trying to satisfy someone else's expectations. Trusting her inner wisdom also gives her confidence when she reaches important crossroads in life. She doesn't feel rushed to make decisions or act out of desperation because she understands that clarity will come if she waits and listens. This patience protects her from making choices she might regret later. She doesn't let herself be pushed by urgency or pressured by voices trying to make her follow a path that doesn't resonate with her spirit. Instead, she stays grounded, reminding herself that what is meant for her cannot be taken away, and what isn't meant for her cannot be forced to stay. Her ability to trust herself is also what gives her resilience when she makes mistakes. She doesn't let failure convince her that she is no longer capable of judging correctly or that her decisions are permanently flawed. She learns the lesson from every situation and uses it to sharpen her discernment even more. This is why she grows wiser with each season of life, because she never stops listening and learning. She treats every experience, whether good or bad, as a way to strengthen her ability to hear her inner guidance more clearly. She also creates spaces of stillness to hear her inner voice without distractions. She takes time to reflect, pray,